John Graves, and this is Brad Martin, lead pastor of Soma. Soma is a group of believers who have chosen to follow the life patterns of Jesus. We feel that in following those life patterns, we need to break out of the traditional walls, four walls of a church building, and actually get out in the world and take Jesus to people, kind of the way he commanded. One of the things that we do is we give you the opportunity to ask a pastor anything that you want to know that you've always wondered. Today's question is actually a follow-up to some of the videos we've been doing and some of the teaching Brad has done over the years. Brad, you make no secret of the fact that you don't see drinking as a sin, and you have no problem with tattoos, as we saw in an earlier video. So what do you see as the hallmarks of a holy life, and how do we fulfill Scripture's command to not love the things of the world?
Oh, that's good. Yeah, because it can kind of come across to the untrained eye as though I don't think that nothing's wrong.
Right.
That we can just do anything we want to do, and God doesn't care about this. In fact, what really bothers me a lot is when I hear Bible teachers say, God doesn't really care about that.
Yeah.
And if I ever say that, you slap me in one of these, okay?
Aha, and you
Because
can't slap me back either.
That's right.
That's in the Bible.
I mean, that's right.
That's it.
So the problem with that is God really cares about everything. There's nothing you could go to God and say, "What do you think?" and Him go, "I don't care."
Yeah.
He is a caring person. So, and it's not like some of His laws or desires or wants or commands that He says, "You broke that one. It's a little one."
Mm-hmm.
So He doesn't do that. So I don't teach that way at all. And there certainly is right and wrong, good and bad, sin and evil, black and white, all that kind of stuff. But if you want to get down to the core of it, what does it mean to live what's the mark of a holy life?
Yes.
I think there's one guiding rule that if you were to live by this, and you didn't even have one of these,
Okay.
if you could just stick to this, it would take you through more than 80% of living.
Okay.
And simply this. And I didn't come up with it. This is nothing new with me. Jesus says in Matthew 22, I think it's around verse 36 or so, He says, because they said, what's the greatest commandment? You see, it's not something new that you need to know. It's something old that you need to remember and live.
Love the Lord your God with all your heart.
Love the Lord your God with all your heart, soul, mind, and body, and your neighbor as yourself. What He did when He did that is He boiled 613 Old Testament laws into two. Okay? That was massive, because the guy that asks Him that wants to know which laws are the most important.
The guy was a lawyer, right?
That's right. He's looking for Jesus to give him a priority list, and Jesus doesn't give a priority list. He took all of it and boiled it down into the seed behind everything.
Okay.
And the seed behind everything is loving God and loving people. Now, that becomes very nebulous, though. So let me give you the way I say it today. And when you put it in any specific context, it begins to weed out a lot of thinking and a lot of decisions. I would simply tell people this. If you want to know the mark of a holy life, it's people who ask the question, what would love do next?
Okay.
Because if the commandments are love God, love people, well then, and I'm alive right now, and I'm about to do something in a minute.
Right.
What would love do next? By you, by my neighbor, by my mama that treats me bad. My mama treats me good though. But by my mama that treats me bad, my boss who's a jerk, whatever. By my enemies, what would love do next? And when we say love, we don't mean whatever love you can come up with. What would God's kind of love do next? And just that core question will take you through most things. Okay? For instance, you could say, would love just have sex with anybody that wanted to?
No.
That's not. I mean, that's not love. I mean, that's horny, but it's not love.
Yeah.
I mean, it just does not fit the definition of what it means to be a loving person. Okay?
I mean, even the world doesn't think that that's love.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So you begin to put this in specific context, and you start going, well, I don't think love would do that. Okay? So I think that's huge. The next mark of a holy life is a life on mission.
Okay.
And that is, beyond loving God and loving people, the way that comes out into an intentional lifestyle is to say, God is on a mission to save people from the judgment to come.
Okay.
So, but wait a minute, he is the judge, right? He's not only the judge at the end, but he's the lover of people who wants to save them from his judgment.
Yeah.
So, if that's what he's doing, then that's what love would do next. So, part of what love's going to do next is to live a life that would seek to benefit and rescue people from the judgment to come. So when you take those two, I'm going to do what love would do next by guiding people, and I'm going to seek to live in a manner that would take people with me after this life. That defines a lot of my living, my doing, and my not doing.
It kind of makes it hard to sin if you're occupying your time with all that kind of stuff.
Absolutely. There's still a lot of wrong stuff,
Yeah.
and it's specifically commanded in here. But what's not specifically commanded too often gets turned into traditions that he didn't say that. You can reason your way through it, but he didn't say that. I'm going to stick with it.
Fair enough. All right, we hope that answered the question. And if you have any follow-up questions to this, as people sometimes do, please email me at jhngreaves@gmail.com, and I'll pose a question to the pastor. While you're at it, check out our website, onesoma.net. We'd love to hang out with you, meet you, show you how you can become involved in our mission to reach people who think that the church has no use for them. We're bringing Jesus to those people.